I guess we should probably mention that I just think it's been a really great summer for Canadian athletes, especially the women. Going back to the Olympics, along the way of getting that gold medal, beating Megan Rapinoe in the States, always a great feeling. Beating the States, not just, I know people don't like Megan Rapinoe for whatever reason, but just, beating the States is such a great feeling. Especially how upset she was about it. Oh, it was great. And then it continues last night in the Women's World Championships, down 2-0 after the first period. Marie-Philip Poulin in overtime. Who else but Captain Canada? 2 golden goals in her career, 3 total gold medals. She's gotten the game winner for every single one of them. And what a perfect shot it was. What was the call? She knows she scored. Freaking what a game.
It was something else to watch. That's for sure. It was just, you're right. Like just this entire summer for women's sports, like going back to not the World Cup, the Olympics, right? With the gold medal against Brazil. That was the shootout. Just something else. And they actually I'm pretty sure they got like the majority of Canada's first medals.
Yeah, they did
in the Olympics. But with the hockey game, it was just when Canada and the US play, especially the women, there's something, I don't know what the word is. There's this extra oomph. You know how we talk about that extra oomph with players? They all have it. They all have it when they play against each other. It's incredible to watch.
Yeah,
I think you would just quickly. I think you meant Sweden. That's who they beat.
Sweden.
In the final.
Sorry,
yeah.
Sweden.
Yeah.
You thought of the yellow flag.
I don't know why I thought Brazil. Sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, for me that was a very intense game. So the way I kind of felt it was the back and forth after it became 2-2, but the amount of penalties Canada took, like in the second and going towards the third, that just made me really nervous. But
the last 10 minutes of the third were very stressful.
Yeah, but yeah, that was probably one of the best games I've watched this year, and it's kind of amazing, like where we always have this discussion where it's like there's no interest in female sports in terms of like the mass populace of things, but I have to like look at this tournament and see that like there was the attention, there was the excitement, there was that factor that I think that really drew in a lot more people to want to watch this, especially I know because of the circumstances with COVID, but it just gave her another extension of like, listen, there's no other hockey going on right now. Like this was the perfect time to have the tournament.
What's the best part is this tournament didn't happen almost. It got canceled earlier in the pandemic, and there was almost this call of like there was almost no backup plan from the IIHF. It was scary, man. But it's just what also is kind of rough about it though is you get reminded of how great, not only how amazing best on best international play is, but just like it kind of makes you so sad when if you're looking at Blair Turnbull stuff and you see that technically she's not playing right now because of just the disagreement between different leagues right now, aka the Players Association, and just how desperately we talked a bit about it with Will in the WNBA last episode, but like the NHL itself right now just need to step in. But anyway, without going too far from it, I mentioned Blair Turnbull, former Wisconsin graduate, by the way. I found out yesterday. Had a good chance. I can't remember if it was late in the third or early in the overtime. She had a really good one-timer, but just couldn't get all of it. However, I think what might be one of the best moments in Canadian hockey history, gets her medal when she's on the stretcher because she hurts herself in the midst of the celebration. By the way, I'm surprised injuries in the celebrations don't happen more often, but just the way they bring her out was like, there she is. She has the medal. She's going to the rest of the players. Like, I don't know what's going on here. Like her skates off and like her ankle looks all messed up. It was so cool.
Yeah, it's those moments that make it, for me at least, even more special in a way, because they're literally blood, sweat, and tears and everything in putting everything into this tournament. And to win gold, win whatever. It doesn't matter. It is a special moment. and to see, you could see the joy on every single person's face on the ice for Canada.
Mhm.
For Canada. Yeah, the emphasis for
Yeah,
Canada.
I just,
Yeah,
Canada.
because, you know, yeah, I mean,
I thought I should add that.
if it's the States, we're just like, yeah, congratulations, and moving on. If the States won, it would have been like, so why are we deciding a tournament on 3-on-3 hockey?
Oh my goodness! The amount of times before the game I saw the shootout winner for the US, like the amount of times they replayed that everywhere.
Wait, what the? Oh yeah,
On Shannon Sabados, like when she bit on the deke.
well, it's been going back. I think ever since the World Junior won the Troy Terry goal. Since that, then the Zabados incident. Like since then, it's always been this like, why are we not just deciding this? And just why don't we just go continuous 5-on-5 overtime, first goal, sudden death? Like, you know, we should just do it. It's kind of like watching soccer. The hockey part of me is always like, why are we finally like doing this in penalty kicks? I don't like it. But I mean, again, Canada won, so we're like, okay, good.
Doesn't matter. Yeah,
Exactly.
Unless
Who
it
lands a
affects
hero?
you, it doesn't matter. That's the mentality in sports.
Yes, I saw the tweet saying this is dumb unless Canada wins, and they delete the tweet. And guess what? The tweets are still up. So it's good. It's very good. By the way, Blair Turnbull we're naming the episode after her because my goodness, hockey lore. I love it so much.
Also, in 4 months or 5 months, Olympics. So this will be remembered.
Good.
Which is exactly what we want, right?
we want the momentum going.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, you know, they didn't learn enough from like what was it, the 4 or 5-0 crashing the Americans had in the prelims. Didn't show up, didn't want it hard enough in the gold medal. Maybe they're giving them a better shot at the Olympics, but I doubt it because, you know, I'm setting myself up here, but it's okay.
We know they will be there. Right?
Yep.
So
Well, I think Marie Philippou said in her post game, like, listen, the big one's still coming up.
right. This was like the preliminary tournament, I guess, in their eyes. I mean, a win's a win, but it's the Olympics. That's the biggest stage of them all.
Honestly, the women on the international stage, like we talk about the golden goal, obviously, but like the American Canadian games are honestly legendary. Like every time they play, it's awesome. Yeah, sorry, yeah, it's every time they play, it's sensational. You know, because they don't go silly and try and put, you know, Justin Applicator on their teams for World Cups of hockey.
My goodness.
Where's Phil Kessel at home?
Oof. But I just before we wrap this part up, unless there was more to say, but I think it's important. You brought it up earlier, and the same discussion was had after Canada won gold in soccer. That they're like, I hope watching this and the reaction on social media and, you know, just all that stuff and what's been said about this team, like it brings the PA and the NWHL closer together in terms of trying to figure out what they're going to do. And I hope at the same time it wants the NHL should get involved. Like, I hope that's what happens.
It's funny you should mention that, Alex, because per Annalie Kaplan on Twitter, this is from the 29th of August, September 1st. Isn't that wild? School next week. It's been a moving target, but all signs point towards a decision next week on whether NHL players are going to the 2022 Beijing Olympics or not. Sources I've talked to suggest an agreement between the NHL, NHLPA, the AAHF, and the Olympic Committee is close, just down to some final items. And the NHL has plans for the All-Star game in Las Vegas either way. Doop-de-doop. The NHL players are going to the Olympics. They'll keep already released schedules with the 16-day Olympic break, and players will fly to Beijing on Sunday from Vegas. If NHL players aren't going, new schedules will be released. So as of now, everything is pointing towards NHL players going to the Olympics, which is, again, just who doesn't want them at the Olympics? Who doesn't want the NHL players there?
Can I just say how happy I am to be wrong?
Yeah.
Like,
you were doubtful for a while.
I mean, with cause.
Yeah, no, with cause, but like there's things that you don't want to be wrong about, and there's things you want to be wrong about. And this is one of the things I want to be wrong about. I'll put it in that category.
I was like in a gray zone with this. Just I didn't want to deny nor confirm my excitement of what was going to happen. So I'm just okay. Whatever happens, happens. And I don't know. Now we could. Now I'm pretty happy that we could rehash and look back on our lists when the NHL season starts and just like kind of look at what stacks against what a potential team would look like and what our predictions were.
Yeah, I don't know if Danault's going to make it, but
Never give
I'll
up.
hold on to hope.
Remember, Patrick Sharp and Chris Kunitz made the Olympic team.
Yeah, well, there were certain people that are going to be rooting for Zach Hyman to get on there. So
He's our generation's
All of
Brendan Morrow.
Edmonton.
I mean, Ken Holland's a Hockey Canada guy.
Well, I think Connor McDavid does the Sidney Crosby thing where it's like he has to have the line mate, like he has to have the Chris Kunitz on the Olympic team.
No offense, but who's the best? Who honestly was is Gensel Crosby's best ever line mate? Because I don't think to this point McDavid's had no offense to Josh Archibald, he's not Kunitz or Dupuis, right?
Mm. Are we listening?
No.
Okay, the
Gensel
good
had
thing
a
though is in the
40-goal
projected
year.
lines this year that I saw for the Oilers. I know we're gonna go back to the Olympics, but the projected lines I saw where finally Josh Archibald is either an extra or he's on the fourth line. So, there is some degree of depth there.
That's really nice, I guess. But come back to me 20 games into the season and let me know where Josh Archibald's been playing.
Looking at Olympic rosters, the debate is already started when it comes to extra defensemen. There was a poll about who was it? It was, would you rather Pelech, Riley, Shabbat, and I can't remember the fourth defenseman. And the snub list, I mean, it's going to be because it's been so long since we had an actual legit Olympic roster. I don't think we've really seen how just visceral it can get, especially because if you have a guy like Morgan Riley there, all of a sudden you can drag in the Leafs fans into the argument, and that's what's going to make it so much fun. And then what about Darnell Nurse was the first one, yes. And then you get into a debate: is it Nurse or Riley? And then you have the Oilers coming, and it's going to be so much fun. I don't know.
And then you have Alex arguing for Justin Hall on the right side. I know. Exactly. That's when the argument gets there. Yeah.
That's what I'll be arguing.
Well, let's talk about this.
Yes.
Who's the more complete defenseman, Jake Muzzin or Morgan Riley?
Jake Muzzin.
Why does Muzzin not get enough love? Wasn't he on Team Canada for the World Cup?
Yeah, he was for a cup of hockey. Yeah.
Yeah, because he plays with Doughty. He played with Doughty.
He played 2 games, I think.
Seriously, it's a thought. It's a thought. If Bouwmeester was younger enough to be on this roster, you would think to yourself, would Colton Parayko be here because Hockey Canada?
I think the one thing is I love Jake Muzzin, by the way. I really do love Jake Muzzin, but I think it's the only drawback I have with him is just the injuries.
I mean, yeah.
It has been consecutive. And I know they factor into that a lot because I remember when Ryan Getzlaf almost did not make the team. And then remember that they invited Jeff Carter. Yes. And then at the last second, Ryan Getzlaf's like, I'm okay. My doctor's in Anaheim shows it. And they're like, sorry, Jeff, I know we invited you to Vancouver, but you're going to be in the press box and you're not part of the team.
It's all right. It's all right. He got some cups out of him. He's all right. Jeff Carter had a decent career. Well, he's still around, isn't he?
Yeah, he's still playing.
It's very weird.
He got protected, remember?
Yes. I remember. I call it. Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to brag or anything, but yeah. Where are we? Anything else in the Olympics? Who doesn't love Chad in the Olympics? Best on best. Why not? Who's the captain
for Canada?
Yeah.
Crosby.
Okay, good. We're agreeing with that. It's Sid.
If Crosby's on the team, he's the captain.
Yeah, he's the captain.
He could be the extra forward in 4 years from now, and I'd still make him the captain.
Actually,
you know what I mean?
Sorry, a random fact. This actually almost happened for Vancouver Olympics. Mm-hmm. So what happened was before Scott Niedermayer was named captain in the training camp, they wanted to see if Joe Sakic was going to retire or not, and they're like either way, however he plays, he makes the Olympic team. And then when he's like, nah, I don't want to, I'm retiring this summer. They're like, okay, Scott Niedermayer's the captain.
He could be like assistant coach. I'd still get them to put the C on his suit.
Yeah. Connor can have he can have an A if he wants, but like he shouldn't be the captain yet. You imagine giving like just you have to think of having him and Sid next to each other in the locker room and not having Sid with the C. It's just wrong. Even the Rottweilers crying
That
about
happened
it
in.
right now.
Sorry, I have so many of these throwback Olympics facts.
Yeah, go ahead.
But 1998, Eric Lindros was named captain over Steve Yzerman, Wayne Gretzky. Who else was on that team? Yzerman, Gretzky, Sakic, and Messier.
That's wrong.
Because Bobby Clark was the GM of the team.
And there you go. I
Sounds
want
nepotism to me.
Didn't Lindros at like towards his end of the time with Flyers like get upset with Bobby Clark too?
Yeah, they like
There's a
hate each
history.
other. Yeah, there's a history there. But apparently they buried the hatchet during one of the Heritage Classics.
Yep. That the Rottweiler isn't a fan of Bobby Clark either. Okay.